Yeah, it's back on now. No, is it back on? It's coming back on now. Okay, right. So it's coming back on. All right. So Tijan, you said you had a question for me.
Yeah, because okay, so I'm also an atheist, but I've never heard of debunking. I've never heard of deliverance ministry doctrine. Maybe that's just where I am. What is the deliverance ministry doctrine?
Okay. I'll tell you all about deliverance. So you know that the believers, they believe in the supernatural, right?
Yeah.
They believe in the supernatural. And so in the supernatural world, what happens is there are demons over there, there are evil spirits, the devil is there, God is, all these beings live in that dimension. But somehow those beings can access this here. Thank you, Miss Annie. Thank you. So those beings can access here. They come and go. Now, some of those beings can enter into someone, right? They can have sex with them. They can possess them. They can do things to them that they did not ask for. Now, there's a whole belief in spirit husbands and spirit wives. When a young lady is having issues, she's struggling in her life, trying to make sense of things, she goes to the pastor to say, Pastor, I'm struggling. Pastor says, oh, you've got a spirit husband attached to you. So what that means is, in the spirit world, one spirit has been assigned to her, and the goal of that spirit is to see that she is completely wrecked on earth and does not make it to heaven. In fact, they go as far as to say that that spirit husband even sleeps with them. So now, the only way to rid these people of these demons is deliverance. So you go to people like this and they start laying their hands on you or whatever. And then some people, they start manifesting. You hear them shouting, the demons start speaking through them. The demons, they start acting, they start speaking to demons. The demon is talking to the pastor is responding to the demon, and then eventually the pastor says, go in Jesus' name, go and just go back to the abyss where you came from.
Oh, I know exactly what this kind of person is. Okay, we have that here. It's a little different. It's just more like they claim to cure diseases, and then they put their hands on them and say, be gone, lupus, be gone, lupus, be gone. And then somehow it doesn't go away.
Tijam, I'm going to recommend a video for you on YouTube. Just look for the oral sex demon. The oral sex demon. A woman.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm upset that I know what you're talking about.
A woman was in church, right? She went to go and be delivered. Well, she says, you know what? I can actually play it. Hold it. Oral sex demon. Oh my God. It's like, that one, it's crazy. That oral sex one.
This can't be real. Mark Oroda, is this what you adhere to? Is this the faith that you believe in?
Yeah, no. Well, I think the explanation is it does happen in cases, but the way that you are putting it, it's like you're making fun of how these things the pastors are doing for people that are manifesting demons. So my question is, so what do you think these people are pretending or they're acting? What's your take on that?
Hold on. Before you ask the question, let me play. So that I need deliverance again, and since then my grandfather has been itching. A demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth.
And
Oh my.
then he came again and he slept with me last week. And I told the pastor that I need deliverance again. And since then, my private part has been itching. Yes.
Oral sex. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that sperm of that man out. Out. You
no.
He went in the private part. Watch what happens.
So now he got a spray. He's spraying her private area.
With holy water?
Maybe holy water oil. I don't know. Well, yeah, guys, go check it out on YouTube. Oral sex demon. It's interesting, right? And then she comes back and says she's free. When she went to the bathroom, some white stuff came out from her in between her legs, and now she's healed of this demon. So this is what I mean by this demon. Is this for some people think that they are the masters at the deliverance game? In fact, Tijam, have you heard of the demon slayers?
The only thing I've heard of is like the anime.
No, not the anime. So there's a group of pastors in the US. In the US, there's a group of them. They come together. They call themselves the demon slayers. They do deliverance. They do this whole delivering of people from. You've watched the whole series.
Here? I've never heard. I thought I would have heard of that. That's insane. Okay. So it's basically, so this whole deliverance doctrine is basically healers, but with respects to like sex demons.
Yeah, that's
okay. That's weird. That's bizarre.
Then we also there's something called the marine kingdom. Right? The marine, that's the water kingdom. So in the water kingdom, there's spirits in there that send their girls to men in particular. They send the girls. So you're assigned to that man over there. Your duty is to bring him down. Whatever you need to do, you bring him down. And when you're done bringing him down, you come back and tell us the assignment done. It's like, where did these people get all these things from? People have made money. People have made a living doing deliverance. And this is where a lot of people get abused, because now they've been convinced that they have one demon inside them, and now the pastor has to remove the demon from them. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's despicable.
Mark, you say you have a question. Go on with your question.
Okay, let me just say, I cannot defend every church in the world because there's some false preachers and false teachers. So I believe in deliverance, but I don't believe in how some of the churches they go about with the deliverance. So I believe that Christ did cast out demons, and these are the evil spirits that come upon people and torment them. As I believe in that. I believe in deliverance. But
my problem with that, Mark, is that you're saying that you have a divine knowledge of which is the correct teaching and which is not, and that's information that you're withholding from us. Like, how do you determine? You as a person determine that this is the true teaching and that other people are false.
But how do you determine that atheism is the right way and Christianity is false?
Can you please answer his question first, please?
Oh no!
You don't respond. You don't respond to a question with a question.
No, because you're not better than what you're trying to accuse. If you are not able to explain how atheism is the right thing and Christian and other religions are false,
nobody has made that claim that atheism is the right thing. No.
Okay.
That's not what I said.
No, you never said that, but you're an atheist, of course. So you don't believe. So you're just confused. You're just confused.
Not confused. No, I'm not confused. I lack a belief in God, and that's perfectly fine. Lacking a belief in God. But what I want to know is that you've made the claim that there are right churches and there are wrong churches' teachings, and I wanted to know, how did you determine which one was the right one and which one was the wrong one, and then how did you come to that determine?
Okay, you just said you lack a belief in God. Okay, before I can get into your atheism delusion, let me tell you why I believe in Christ. First of
Do
all,
you think, Mark, he's asked you a question?
yes, I'm trying to answer that. I'm
If you
trying
can
to answer that.
answer the question, would be nice. No need.
The-
He doesn't ask you anything about atheism, right? So you don't need to even touch on the subject of atheism. No need for it.
yeah, but you don't want to talk about it because you know that
It's not that we don't want to talk about it.
it's a delusion
No,
that
no,
you
no,
are in.
Mark.
Here, Mark, I will talk about my atheism. I'll talk about it all day. I just want an answer to the question that I've
Okay,
asked.
let me
The
tell
question.
you why I am a Christian. First of all, we live in this universe.
Nobody asks you why you're a Christian. My goodness.
So what's the question?
I asked you. So you said that there are improper teachings and there are proper teachings. I asked you, how did you determine that yours, what you're following, is the proper teaching and that others isn't? Even though they're using the same book and the same scriptures, just different
Okay.
pastors, different teaching. How did you determine that yours is the true one?
So I have to compare what's happening in the churches and compare it to what the Bible teaches and what the apostles of Jesus Christ did in the early church in the book of Acts. So if a church is doing something which is contrary to what the Bible taught in the early church, they are actually not in the right doctrine. So the reason why I say I don't believe in some of the deliverances of these churches is because the way they do things is not according to the Bible. It's not according to what the Bible says. Like the preachers who are taking money and promising that God is going to bless them, flying in private jets and all that I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that because they are actually not doing what the early apostles they did. So the reason why I determine what's right and wrong is by comparing what the Bible teaches. Yes.
Okay, so from what I gathered, is
Yeah.
that you don't believe that the churches are the church that you follow is more congruent with the doctrine that you feel should be taught and understood, and that's what the doctrine says and is being taught the way it should be.
That's
But
precisely.
but then
That-
again, like you have to remember that other people have a different belief system, and they say that their doctrine is following the same book and using the same rules. So in all essence, what you're really saying is this is the one that feels more comfortable to you.
No. So if other people they say they're right and I'm saying I'm right, okay, then let's bring the Bible and see who is right and who is wrong. If I am doing what Paul did and the early apostles, and those churches are not doing what the Bible is teaching of what happened in the early church and what the Bible teaches. So, which means I'm right because I'm following what the scriptures is teaching, and they are wrong because they are not doing the what the Bible teaches. So, not every church is the right church. That's what I'm telling you. Not every church is the right church because what other people are doing, they're just doing things for their own gain and looting money from the people and all that. That's just a bunch of nonsense. I don't entertain that.
So who is Paul? Who is Paul? And what's Paul got to do with your faith?
No, Paul was an apostle who was called by God. His name was called Saul.
He was not an apostle and he was not called by God. He claimed. He claimed. He made claims.
He made a claim that he was called by God.
Exactly. He was not called by God.
So how can you disprove that? How can you disprove that he was not called by God?
Well, he never said he was called by God, did he?
He never said he was called by God.
Did he say he was called by God?
Did you not say? Did you say I wasn't called by God?
No one asked him that question. So he couldn't have said, no, I wasn't called by God. No one asked him that. How can you prove that he was called by God? If anything, what we know is that he claims to have met Jesus on the way to Damascus. Now, they only saw a bright light. So who saw Jesus? How do you know it was Jesus that met him on that road?
Because you're saying that he never claimed that he was called by God. That's what you said, right?
Sorry?
You said he never claimed that he was called by God.
No.
Okay, can I read you a scripture? If I read you the scripture and prove to you that he was called by God, will you leave your atheism and become?
Hold on. So, if you're going to read something from the text, right?
Yeah.
That's good. You can read from the text. But we need to be able to prove that what you are reading is factual. We need to be able to prove that. So go ahead and read what you want to read. Let's see. And please tell me where you're reading from. I can't hear you, Mark, if you're saying something.
Yeah, you get muted if you go outside the app.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to go and get my screen.
Hello.
Hi, Big Hat. Hi.
Hi. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist. Oh.
Yeah. So,
Sorry. Before you go, can you read First Corinthians? Can you read First Corinthians chapter 1, the first chapter? Before you go, sorry for interrupting.
1 Corinthians chapter 1.
The first chapter, almost all of his letters.
So this says that Paul was called to be an apostle of Jesus Christ through the will of God. Called to be an apostle of Jesus Christ.
So he wasn't called.
So when you say called, what's this? Jesus came and said, I call you, or what?
No, a calling by God is whereby he assigns a person who's going to preach, giving him the doctrine of what he must deliver to the people. And
when did Jesus do this with Paul?
Yeah, but through his way to Damascus in the book of Acts chapter 9. In the book of Acts chapter 9, on his way to Damascus, he was going to persecute the church. And then on his way, that's when his conversion began. And then God called him to the ministry.
Mr. Mark.
Yeah.
Please, I have a question for you.
1 second, before you ask a question.
No. I wanted to read because
before you ask a question, hold on. So
yes.
Listen to how this is the story of Paul and Jesus, right? So Paul, so this is Acts chapter 9 from verse 3. As he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly a light shone around him from heaven. Then he fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And he said, Who are you, Lord? Then the Lord said, I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. It is hard for you to kick against the goads. So he, trembling and astonished, said, Lord, what do you want me to do? Then the Lord said to him, Arise and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. And the men who journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice but seeing no one. Then Saul arose from the ground, and when his eyes were open, he saw no one. But they led him by hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and he neither ate nor drank. So, are we going to talk about the violation of Paul's free will here? Saul's free will.
No, but this chapter is explaining the beginning of his calling in the ministry.
I get it, but the beginning of his calling into the ministry starts with some violence.
What's the violence?
Your God or Jesus, whoever, which one of them, violated this guy's free will.
One God.
They violated his free will. He was on his way to go and he was exercising his free will.
His free will to kill the people.
Let me finish. He was exercising his free will to go and do whatever he wanted to do.
No, to kill the people.
Wait, please, your God stopped him. Not only did he stop him, right? He did whatever he did to him. And now instructs him to go and meet somebody to tell him what to do, right?
Yes.
God blinded his eyes 3 days.
Yes.
Blinded him for 3 days. You are saying yes?
Yeah. So
you agree with the blinding of his eyes for 3 days?
Well, I think there's a blind spot on you because Paul was.
I asked the question. Do you agree?
Yes.
To the blinding of this man's eyes for 3 days because God wants
you see, you are actually not.
Can you please answer the question?
You're actually not getting the point. Listen, God does whatever he wants, right? So I cannot challenge God's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. When your God is doing bad things, you should be able to say yes. In this particular instance, he did something bad.
Wait a minute. As an atheist,
I cannot.
You can talk about morality. As an
God
atheist,
is blinding someone's eyes because he was going to go and do. I'm sorry, I can't. Anything Paul says, I can't take it.
He was going to do what? Can you tell the people what Paul was going to do?
He was on his way to go and throw some people in jail.
Persecute the church. Actually, he was going to persecute the church. So, in all that you can read, you are actually telling me that you only saw what you call the immorality of God, instead of seeing the immorality of Paul, of what he was going to do. And you're telling me that you're saying, oh God, why would he make him blind? He was actually blind for 3 days.
Mark,
his eyes.
Mark, there have been many Christians that have been persecuted, and your God did not do shit. Your God didn't do anything.
Didn't he do something here by intercession on Paul?
But who saw Jesus? Who saw Jesus talking to him?
Oh, so you're saying never happened?
No, it never happened. It never happened. It's bullshit.
Oh, okay. So it never happened. Okay, this is very interesting because you have been asking me a lot of questions. Now I want to be interested on what your belief system is as atheist. So I want to ask you something. How do you derive? Where does your morality come from as an atheist? How can you tell right from wrong as an atheist? I'm asking all the panel and you as well.
I can go first if you want. So my morality is built off of. So I'm a secular humanist. I believe in doing as little harm as I can on this earth. I believe that you can see harm when it's done. You can see people in pain. You can see suffering. You can see anger. You can see hate. You can see all the emotions that somebody has to an action that's being pushed upon them, and it doesn't feel good. And there's a reason it doesn't feel good. It's because we are evolved social species, and we live in a social environment. Everybody lives in a social environment who is a human being. So it doesn't feel good to see that kind of action put on somebody else. And those feelings are genuine. And they're also based on knowledge, knowing that we have also could put ourselves in those shoes of somebody who's getting hurt, or somebody who's not getting food, or somebody who's not able to live in a home. we can put ourselves in their shoes and feel that kind of empathy.
Yeah,
So
but
that's where my morality comes from. It comes from an understanding that over time we've learned that doing harm to others is genuinely seen as a wrong.
yeah, but what if someone who's harming you is your fellow atheist as well, and he thinks harming you is right to him?
Why would he think that?
Why would anyone think that?
Yeah, but Joseph Stalin was an atheist. He killed millions of people.
Who was
So
an atheist?
Joseph Stalin, Hitler, all the people that have all these people.
Whoa. Okay, so I'll give you Joseph Stalin.
Yeah.
But
No, even Hitler.
Schmittler was a Roman Catholic. Let's not get that twisted. He was a Roman Catholic who was put in and ordained by the Roman Catholic Church, and they celebrated his birthday 4 years after his death every year.
Adolf Hitler.
No, you don't say the full name for TikTok purposes. You have to be like Schmadoff Schmittler.
No. Adolf Hitler, who killed 6 million people. Okay.
Don't hold the name.
No, it's not. You can't say the name. What I'm saying is you can't say the name. You have to make it. You have to like fuzzy it up for TikTok purposes.
Oh,
no, you're good.
I get your point.
Just call him the mustache man.
Oh, okay, I get you. I get what you mean.
Call him the mustache man, please.
And
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Big Heart.
Yeah, hello, bro. How you doing?
So he or she. What are your pronouns, Mark? I don't want to misappropriate
No, there's no. Listen, there's my pronouns are he and him.
He, him.
He, him. Okay.
My pronouns are he, him, and the other pronouns is she and her. That's it.
Okay. So he was just asking where we get our morality. Big Heart, do you have a basis for your morality?
You know what? I'll say religion doesn't teach morality. You know, without religion, I know what is good, I know what is bad.
No, you don't know what is good. You don't know.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. Okay.
Are you kidding me? No, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Without religion.
I unfortunately, I'm gonna have to duck out because my husband's about to be home, so I'm gonna duck out.
Okay.
But this was lovely. Thank you for.
Okay, bro. Take care.
Have you got dinner ready for him or no?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm about to do.
All right, go and sort dinner.
Mark.
Oh my God.
Mark, I have a question for you.
Yeah, no. I asked the question, where do you derive your morality as an atheist? You don't believe in God, you don't believe in 10 commandments, you don't believe the Sermon on the Mount. So
wait, bro, let me tell you something, bro. You know, morality is natural. Without religion, you know, I told you initially that without religion, I know what is bad and I know what is good. But you said no. Without religion, bro, calm down, bro. Without religion, I know what kind of heart someone has. So without religion, I know what is bad. So religion doesn't teach me morality, does it?
Okay, you see, okay, this is the blind spot that I always point out.
1 second, Mark. 1 second. So as an atheist, where I derive my morality from, right? We talk about a few different concepts. Talk about reasoning, empathy, social norms, and learned behavior, right?
Yes.
Reasoning, empathy, actually empathy, social norms, because we are social beings.
Yes.
We live in communities, we live in people. And so as part of that, we all come together and we come together and determine the rules, the laws, right, that we must live by, right? And also learned behavior. Over the years, we learn that this is good and this isn't good, right? We talk about the concept of do no harm, right? You don't want to see harm done to yourself or to others, right? Some go as far as they'll say, do unto others as you would want done to yourself. That's a bit problematic because what someone else wants may not necessarily be what you want, right? So when someone says do to others as you want done to yourself. For example, if someone is if someone takes part in BDSM, right? They like to be dehumanized, to be, of course, not everybody wants. So, I tread carefully with do unto others as you want done to yourself. But as long as you're working in as long as you're showing empathy, as long as you are doing no harm, right? Then this is where you get your morality from. You don't need God or Jesus and all this, and you don't need any of those things.
Oh, okay. You see, that's the problem that you don't see.
A problem.
You are saying because probably you're a good person. You're saying, "Oh, I do good things, and these are good things." What if another fellow atheist of yours do harm to you? Okay, what do you say about an atheist who rapes a child or who murders someone else? But they're an atheist. They don't see any problem with that. They say,
I've had an atheist do something bad to me, and guess what? We talk about it, right? After they've done what they've done, we had some space, and then they came back, said they were sorry, right? Now we're back.
Same thing, this same thing you talk about right now happens amongst the religious people, so it happens everywhere.
Exactly. Are you saying that religious people don't harm religious people?
No, I'm not saying that.
Religious people don't harm religious people.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there has to be a higher authority that will actually decide what is right and what is wrong. Because an atheist, by you saying that, no.
Says who? Who's the one saying that a higher authority?
Okay, I want to ask you something.
No. Please answer the question. Who says that a higher authority must determine what is good and bad?
Because he is God. He's the one who decides what is right.
But Mark, calm down. I'll tell you something. Mark.
Who determined that a higher authority that we cannot see, we can't hear, we can't touch, we can't feel, we don't know nothing at all about this character up in the sky?
For real, that's not logical.
This character is going to now tell us what is good and bad. This character does not speak for himself. He speaks through humans. Human beings are going to tell us and write what this invincible character in the sky wants us to do. But this character has never spoken himself. And yet you're going to tell us that we need a higher somebody to come and tell us.
No. You're not getting it. Okay, let me give you an example. If you are involved in an accident, or not like a very, just like lightly accident, you don't argue with the person and say, "Oh, you're the one that has hit me" and all that. The police have to come and you have to go to court, and the court will make a decision on who is right and who is wrong. You can argue and say I'm right and wrong, but at the end of the day, it has to go to the authorities and just go to court, and then the court will decide who is right and who is wrong. So what I'm trying to say is, because they are atheists that are evil, of course, you wouldn't say they are not there.
No, no one is saying that.
Yeah, okay, they are there. So my issue is the person who makes, or in your delusional atheist world, the person who makes decision is the one who has got power.
I muted you.
You're just saying a world of nonsense.
I muted you. We are having a respectful conversation.
Delusional atheist. That's not right.
Conversation, and you're here talking about in our delusional atheist world. You believe in invincible sky daddies.
They are the most delusional.
You believe in invincible characters.
And you know what? You know what?
We are,
Their God.
we are delusional ones.
That's really funny.
Like, please be respectful. If you know you're not going to be respectful, please. Delusional atheist world. The fuck?
Maybe that was a mistake.
No, you should. No, you should. Come on now. Be respectful.
Mark, unmute yourself.
One that believes in sky daddies that we can't see. No, but we are the delusional ones. Please get yourself some brains. You can unmute yourself, but please, if you're going to disrespect us like that, then there's no point.
No, okay, but you are saying that I believe in sky dead. Okay, you can say what you want about my religion. It's okay. I'm not going to say anything about your atheism because at the end of the day, this is your platform. I'm limited in what I can say, but you can say whatever you want to.
No, you are not limited in what you can say. You can say whatever you want to say, but be respectful. We're treating you with respect. I've not, said anything derogatory to you.
Mr. Mark.
Yeah.
Guys, please just keep tapping on your screens for me.
Did you know that your God in the Bible, he do a lot of killings. This God gives you a rule not to kill, not to hurt someone. But this same God breaks the rule in the Bible. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you see, as an atheist, whenever you talk about morality, it's really
No, wait. It looks like you don't get the question. Don't divert the question. Your God do the most killings in the Bible. You know that. Like he unalive a lot of people in the Bible. A lot of innocent people. Do you support that? What your God do?
So let me explain. In the Old Testament, there were laws that were given specifically for that time and for that period. But when it came to the New Testament speaks about there are some verses which Christ says that you have heard that it was said you must do such and such. But I say to you, do likewise. It was the Sermon on the Mount. Well, the things happened in the Old Testament. There was slavery. There was a lot of things happening in the Old Testament. That was for them, and it happened at that time. But in the New Testament that we are in right now, we are under a new covenant, which is under the grace. The Old Testament mostly was given for the Torah was given to the Jews, and all the scriptures that were there, they applied to the Jews. And then in the New Testament, that's when the church is introduced, and the scriptures from the New Testament, that's where we get our scriptures from. And
Mr. Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello,
I want to ask you. Good evening, man. I want to ask Mr. Mark this simple question. According to what you said, if according to what you said it applied, then why didn't you guys tear the Old Testament from the New? Why didn't you tear it off?
Yeah, but you cannot. The Old Testament begins with the beginning of the creation. It's a book from the New Testament. How will I know how the world was created? How will I know the first people that were created? How will I know? Because the Old Testament doesn't record death. There's poetry, there's history, there's just a lot of things which are written in the Old Testament. So that's why it's necessary for the Old Testament to be there, so that we can trace and know where does this come from.
Do you believe in the creation story
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I believe in
You
it.
believe in the
100%.
creation story.
Okay, Mr. Mark, can I ask you this? Can you hear me?
Second, just 1 second. I want to know who wrote the book of Genesis then?
Yeah.
Well, the book of Genesis is attributed to Moses. Yeah, it's the first 5 books of the Bible. They were written by Moses.
So Moses, how did Moses know about the events at creation?
But because God revealed it. Moses was a prophet, so God revealed those things to him. How the world was created.
When
You
when
believe,
when did
you
when did
believe
God
that?
do that? When did God do that?
When did God reveal that to Moses?
Yes, the story of creation.
No, well, I wouldn't point out a verse exactly where God would have spoken to Moses, but Moses had a lot of encounters with God. God appeared to him.
How?
And
God
you
appeared.
believe, Mr. Mark, you said you believe that 100%.
So
Yeah.
the trouble is, if you cannot find us any place where God revealed these stories to him, then you're just assuming things. You're assuming that God was the one that told him.
Oh, okay. Can I ask this question? Do you guys believe in biogenesis? Because you're making fun of you're making fun
We're not making fun. We are not making
No,
fun.
no,
We
no,
are
no, no, not
questioning
at all,
things.
Mr. Mark.
We're not making
We are having
fun.
a reasonable conversation. We are not making fun at all, please.
We're just
Don't get
questioning
us
your
wrong.
own
We are having
belief.
questioning you. We are trying to, let's use rational thinking to access all these things. That's just all. I've
Okay.
never raised my voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? How did the universe come about from your point of view?
Can I give you my answer, Mr. Mark?
No, hold on. I don't like this kind of deflection. We are here talking about we're here talking about the claim of Genesis. Let's not pivot, I beg. That's pivoting and pivoting hard.
So you know why I asked the question, because I'm the one who's been on the defensive ever since I came here. So
But I'm not done with my questions now when it comes to the Bible. So Moses, how do you know that he got the account of creation from God?
well, hence I say that Moses had encounters with God, as the Bible records this encounter with God when he saw the back of God. We don't know what God told him there. That's where some of
You don't know what God told him, but you believe that he was writing about what God told him.
I don't know the details exactly what could have happened when he encountered God. But
Could Moses have been lying about his encounter with God?
no, he wouldn't lie about this encounter with
Why?
God.
Why not? Why not?
So,
Why not? Do not forget. Please, I want you to remember that Moses had unalived somebody and he was on the run. So he was an unaliver with a very nasty temper on the run, and then he claims to have come in contact with God. So an unaliver on the run, someone who is of a problematic nature himself, now comes and tells you, "Oh, I spoke to God, and God told me how He created the universe," and you believe that?
Because Moses is not the only one who wrote the Bible. Isaiah testifies of the same thing. The book of Jeremiah speaks about the creation of God. So, if Moses,
Sorry, Isaiah and Jeremiah said what?
Jeremiah speaks of the creation of the world. It's not.
What did Isaiah say?
Oh, sorry, it's not Isaiah. It's Jeremiah. It's in the book of Jeremiah.
And what did Jeremiah say?
Then I'll have to search and he was speaking about how the earth was created.
Wait, Jeremiah said that?
Yeah, it's in the book of Jeremiah.
Oh wow!
I can give you the verse.
Oh, I would love that.
It's
Please.
not the whole account as it in Genesis. he is citing a portion about the creation of the world in the book of Jeremiah.
Okay, I would love to see that, please.
I'll give you a verse.
So Jeremiah was busy talking about the creation.
Yeah.
So Mark, do some prophets lie? Do some prophets lie?
Well, a prophet lies because he's a human being. Like,
Okay.
because it is the nature of a human being to lie. But when people were speaking under the inspiration of God, that message which they were conveying to the people, it was actually it wasn't a lie. They may lie when they're probably talking to their families out of their prophetic calling, but when they were delivering the scriptures, what they wrote was what God told them what God told them to write.
So how do you know? How do you know that Moses wrote what God told him?
Well, because I believe the whole entire scriptures is inspired by God, as it is inspired.
Your beliefs right now do not count. We're trying to determine if this person is telling the truth or he's lying, right? So we already know that he was not there during creation, right? So now he comes with this tall tale, Adam, Eve, and this and that story. So how did we determine that he was hearing from God?
Well, it's not only Moses, because the prophet who comes after Moses testified of the same thing.
No, we're talking about Moses now, not the one who came after Moses. Moses. Because listen, if there is no way to know what God told Moses, Moses could have come up with a bullshit story. Moses could have lied about this Adam and Eve nonsense and just say, hey, God told me this. So how did you accept that story? And yet you cannot verify the claims of Moses.
No, you see, when you say that, how did Moses could have lied, and how do I know that he did not lie? Because if we keep on going like that, we can do about each and every history book that happened in the.
Yes, we can. Our lives don't depend on any of those books.
No, I'm not talking about religious.
Our lives don't depend on any of those books. We don't get our morality from any of those books. So if we can look at all history books and say, okay, this is a lie, this is a lie, so what? So what?
No, I'm not talking about religious books. I'm talking about any other book.
Okay, yeah. If they're false, they're false.
No, but how can we prove that probably there were, if we have a history book that writes about certain people that lived in ancient times, I can make that argument about each and every book, and then we end up with, well, how do you know that these people they wrote the truth and all that?
Usually, most of those books will tell you where their source is from. They will tell you where the source is, and these are things that you can go and fact check. You can go and check. What you can do your own research. But how do we fact check Moses? How do we fact check Moses' claim? How do we fact check? This guy comes along, says, once upon a time, there was Adam, there was Eve, there was a tree, there was a snake, and the snake started talking, and this and that. So you're saying that God is the one God is the one that was telling this story to Adam. No. So Moses, come. Let me tell you how I created the universe. Come.
Fairy tale.
Moses, in the beginning, my spirit was hovering over the waters. And we said, God said, we, and God said, let us create man in our own image. See, Moses, this is how I said it. I said, let us create man in our image. Then I, Moses, went and got some dust. I molded the dust. I put it like this, I put it like this, but forgot to make the woman. But I created all the animals first. Then I told him to look after the animals. I mean, how did God tell this story to Moses?
It's not logical.
It makes no sense.
So what are you insinuating? What's your
Good night, Irene.
what's your conclusion? Okay, you have said that. So what are you trying to say about it?
That story of Adam and Eve is a bold-faced lie.
Even
Oh, okay.
everything,
Never happened.
everything in the
Okay.
Bible. Not
Okay.
Never happened. Bold-faced
Adam and
Mark,
Eve
Mark,
never happened. Oh,
Mark.
wait.
Mark, listen to me. You know, there are a lot of impossible in the Bible, a lot of stories that can never happen in real life. A lot of things,
The story is like what?
like the story of the story of how Jesus Christ woke the dead, the story of the story of Moses, like splitting the sea, a lot of stories like that. It's
Oh,
all
okay.
lie.
Okay,
It can't
okay.
happen in real life.
Okay, you have said all your points. I just want to hear, how do you understand how the universe come about? Because you don't believe in
How the
Genesis.
universe come about, it's
Yeah.
all
Can you
natural,
explain?
and there is nothing spiritual about it. It is
Can I-
natural.
Can I
Okay.
also
What do you mean?
can I mention, please, Mark? Can I mention that there is no evidence that Moses ever existed?
Yes, no evidence.
Well, I only hear that in many atheists who say that you can make that argument about anything.
Mark,
You
Mark.
can
There's no evidence that there was a global flood. There's no evidence that there was this exodus. That the exodus, they were moving from Egypt to
no,
Canaan.
that's the argument of.
There's no evidence for it.
But you
So
can say that
if there is no evidence for Moses, then he never wrote no Adam and Eve story. This is the thing, it's a pack of lies.
You see, you keep on getting away of where I'm trying to get, because you're saying this didn't happen. I want to know, on your own view, how did the universe come about? How did this life, this diversity of life, where you have got birds, fish, come about? There's no God, there's no intelligence, there's nothing. Things happen by random chance. How did it happen?
I don't know how it happened.
We don't know.
It's way too good for me. I don't know how.
There we go.
Don't attribute that to your God, okay? We don't know, and that's it. You don't have to attribute that to your God, because no
Okay.
evidence. God.
So-
Okay, wait. What created your God? What created your God?
The fact that he is God, it means that everything, you see, you cannot have this infinite regress of who created this, who created this. At the end of the day, it has to be where it all stops. There has to be a brick wall. God is that brick wall.
How do you know that? How do you know it is God? How do you know it is God and not one big stone, a big stone up there?
My logic tells me that this universe cannot come from nothing, and a biogenesis whereby you have got molecules coming together. You have this.
And why did your God come from nothing? That's not logical.
No, it never came from nothing.
So how did your God create the universe then?
God created the universe according to the Bible.
How?
According to the Bible.
How did he do it?
Through his word. He spoke a word, and then as he spoke.
Who was there? Wait, who was there when God was creating the universe?
You see, you keep on getting back when I'm trying to ask you on your side. You don't want to talk about what you believe in.
No, it's not that we don't want to talk about it, my guy. Look, we already said. I already told you. I said I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and
I'm being very honest, telling you.
But your religious people always claim that y'all know everything.
Yeah, but you are the one claiming that it was your God that did it.
For real.
It is your God that did it, so you know something. So tell us this something that you know.
We claim this because we have faith in the scripture.
Faith? No, there's no such thing as faith in
What?
this
You have
universe.
faith that your God created it?
No, we have faith in the scriptures that were written about the creation
But
of
wait,
man.
the Bible was written by man. It doesn't fall from the sky.
No.
Of course,
It
it was
was
written by men.
it
Of
was
course.
man-made. So you don't have to depend all your life on the Bible. You have to think for yourself.
So no, you see the issue of do what thou wilt. It's a problem because you still have other atheists that still do other wrong things. So
No, but Mark, with all your Bible, with all your scriptures, with all your holy texts, you'll still do what thou will. Your books have never stopped any Christian from going to commit sin.
For real.
You yourself, with all your with all your morality, your objective morality, it has never stopped you, Mark, from sinning, has it?
but you
Has it? I'm asking you a question.
no,
I'm asking Mark, I'm asking you a question. Do you sin or not?
I do sin because
There you go. So what are you talking about? And the atheists, they do bad things, and the atheists do the atheists do. When you, with all your holy text, with
Mark,
all your
let me tell you
morality,
something.
with all
Mark,
your sky daddy watching you in the sky, watching
Mark,
everything, it has
Mark.
never stopped anyone from doing a bad thing.
for real, bro. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm
Some
an
people still
atheist.
do bad things.
I'm an atheist, and that doesn't mean I don't believe in humanity. I still believe in love. I believe in goodness. I believe in kindness. Bro.
no, but
Just because I'm an atheist doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
no, because in atheism, actually, there are no rules.
We don't need a rule.
There are no rules. Everyone does whatever they will. Whatever.
Even in your belief system, your religion over there, everyone does what they want and what they will.
For real.
Everybody.
And that's
They
the
do
fact.
whatever it is that they want and will. No?
Well, not every Christian. Not every Christian. So my
You know, today there are a lot of bad pastors out there.
yes,
Because
I agree with you 100%.
I was just watching a story earlier on today. Pastor took his son's wife. What the son was off to military. Started sleeping with the son's wife.
Then
The guy came back from the military. His father has taken the wife.
he's a bad person. That does not necessarily mean that Christianity should be based on that pastor who slept with his or whatever.
No, but Christians sin, don't they?
Christians sin because we are still living in this.
All Christians sin.
We sin because we are still living in this sinful nature.
Then what are you talking about? If you are still living in the sinful nature, then how dare you? How dare you then point the finger at the atheists and say the atheists, they don't believe because they're sinning, they do. Well, you're sinning too.
No, okay. Okay, because I see there's some people that are this question I wanna because I heard you talking about this. So you keep on saying we have never seen this God, we have never touched this God, he has never spoken. So anything that we cannot see, touch, or interact with, do you think it exists or does not exist?
I don't know.
Anything we can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't interact with it. Does it exist? Can you say it exists or no?
There's some things that you cannot see, you cannot touch, but they do exist. Yes.
Oh, but you want to use that against God, but against other things you don't want to use that logic.
No, but there are ways to figure these things out. These things like, for example, bacteria. You can't see bacteria, right? But under a microscope, you can see it.
No, but we can see bacteria.
Exactly. So what are you talking about? Your God is supposed to be. They say he's a spirit. What is a spirit? What is that? What is a spirit?
So what I was referring to, this universe is composed.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Kimberly.
this universe is composed of like 80% what is called dark matter and dark energy. Dark matter and dark energy is, first of all, it cannot be directly observed, it doesn't interact with the light. But the scientists, not only actually is the atheist scientists, they come to the knowledge that dark matter exists, even though we cannot see it, even though we cannot interact with it. So my question was, if you're an atheist and you keep on doing this argument, we cannot see your God, we cannot touch him, we cannot interact with him. But some of the things that you believe they exist with the same logic which you're trying to prove God, I find that
Mark,
I find that appalling.
Mark,
I find that appalling.
Mark, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How did you know that there is a God?
Well, I first of all, I look into the universe.
No. When you were a kid, when you was a kid, how did you know
Well,
that?
I was born in a Christian family, so they taught me that there is God. But
You did.
as I was growing up, I managed to have my own. I had to do my own analysis to say that
Wait. When you were a kid, indoctrination changed you.
Yeah,
If you were,
how do you know that God exists?
how did you know?
God exists because in the book of Psalms it says,
Book. No, don't mention the book. Like, just tell us how. Like, just tell us
So God exists. How do you know he exists?
without the book.
I know that God exists because this universe cannot just magically hang itself on the space.
That's
Therefore,
human. That's human mentality. Like,
that's a
that's your
what?
own mentality. The universe can come from anything. The universe can form itself. It doesn't
Mm.
matter. It doesn't necessarily need to be a God that creates the universe.
Oh, oh, oh,
Mr.
oh,
Mark, Mr. Mark, can I ask you a question?
yeah, go on ahead.
My question is, you made a statement just now that the universe exists. Now, you said that the universe cannot come from nothing. Okay, you claim that, okay, the universe was created by someone. How do you track the, like, generation of that something that created the universe?
I'm finding difficult to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you're sounding.
Can you guys hear me?
No, it's hard to hear you.
Okay, let me be a little bit. Can you guys hear me
Yeah,
now?
that's better now. Yes.
Okay, I said that you have a claim that this universe was created by someone according to you. A lot of people call it a lot of names. Some people call it the big man in the sky. Some call it God. Now, how do you know the source or the origin that created that your being that you ascribe that created the universe? How do you know? How do you know? And can you trace this? Or can you give us a reasonable, rational explanation?
Yeah, well, no one was there when the universe was created. We don't know. No one was there. So
But you claim you know just now. Now you said you know, you believe, so you know.
okay, I know it through a belief system, through faith.
Hmm.
I was not there, so I cannot claim and say, "Oh, this is how God put the water. This is how God put the mountains." I was not there, so I have faith.
Uh, but but Mark, but Mark, can you
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes.
But you Moses, and this is the same question host was asking you. Moses made that claim. You said you don't know. Moses came all of a sudden from nowhere and tell you he knows, and he created a belief system out of it. And now you are accepting that belief system based on Moses' reference. So it just doesn't make sense. If you can enlighten us on that, it will be fine. You understand? Like I think host was asking you a question about Moses, that this man was a fugitive. He was running, you understand, for his life, and all of a sudden he came one day and made all this belief system, and you believe the belief system. So can you give us logical explanation to that belief system? I believe that's one of the question host was asking you. You understand? We're having a constructive conversation. Hope you are not offended.
You see that the issue is you keep on saying Moses as if only Moses wrote about the creation account. Moses spoke about it. Jeremiah spoke about it. So you have the prophets that spoke and actually were pointing out to the creation story. When Jesus Christ came, he referred to Adam and Eve when he was talking about marriage. He went back to the creation. So how do I know that? The question is, how do I know that Moses was telling the truth or he was telling the lie? Moses,
Yes.
I believe,
Why do you?
in
How do
what
you
Moses
believe?
wrote. Because listen, the Bible is not the only book that speaks about the creation and everything. Go to school, they talk
No,
about the
no, not at
biogenesis.
all. The Bible is not. Mr. Mark, the Bible is not. But the Bible tends to agree with scientific explanation of the origin of the universe and some other books. You understand? Some other religious books or belief books. Like when you look at Hinduism and other, religious sects, the Bible has its own definition. And most of the times, I think I'm agnostic. The Bible tends to, disagree with the basic point of view of science. Like, okay, God made us out of, dust. He called a man one day, he poured
Certi-
it or water, whatever,
Certified.
and yes,
You know, every religious book has its own unique story of creation. So
yes, that's what I'm trying to
yeah,
to
so
to let you know.
Bible story is entirely different, and Quran is different.
Yes,
And
yes, exactly, and that is what I'm trying to say because he
Well,
made a statement.
that's a
I want to
the
Um,
re-
I want to
guys, just one second. We've got a lady here with us. Samira, do you want to say something, please? Samira?
Oh, sorry, my voice.
No worries. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. And how are you? Long
All
time.
right. Yes, long time no see.
I know. So I'm just busy, with the
Yes,
children and all that.
yes.
It's good to see you, though.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, I've been hearing, I'm laughing, and So my question, I just wanted to ask our brother Mark, because I see one of his video. He said God does not want them to worship Him by body, like having a body. He wants them to worship by spirit. So I'm saying, what is the point of the same God creating you as a person, as a human being, in a form of a body, if He does not want you to worship Him as a person? So what is the sense of all that? I don't know if you understand my question.
well, I understand your question, and I know exactly what you are talking about. Where I say that God wants us to worship Him in spirit and in truth.
Mm,
And you are saying that since we live in the body and it's that God created us with this body, how would they not allow us to worship Him with our body? So,
Firstly,
so when the Bible says it's actually Jesus who said this, that the time is coming that true worshippers will worship in spirit and in truth.
so why not just die and be a spirit straightforward? Then
No,
we
we are
continue.
spirit already. We don't have to die. We are spirit already.
No, because it's against the body, kind.
Or, well, the Bible, when it talks about the flesh, it signifies our sinful nature. It does not necessarily mean that I do not have to go to church with my body. Because
Okay.
I serve in church with my body. I evangelize with my body. So when God says in spirit and in truth, it 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 refers to the new life that we have in Christ, living by the Spirit, but not by the flesh. The flesh signifies the things of this world, like lying, stealing, murdering, and all that. But the Spirit signifies the good things of which are the fruit of the Holy Spirit, which are referred in the book of Galatians. So it does not necessarily mean that I do not use my body to worship
No,
God.
but even though, like you said, all those things, it still doesn't make sense. And at the same time, if really, like all the things of this world, they were not really important, why can't you, Christian, just have like all the pastors, you just come as one, you build one place, but each pastor has their own so-called church, they have their own place so they can collect different money. Even like you, when you start, let me go to the point. If you also you get a church very soon, you are not going to be talking like the way you are talking now to say all those pastors are bad or what. The aim of all these things is just for you to get money from the people. That's it. Otherwise, even you yourself, you know that you are selling them Christ that does not even do anything. Because really, truly, if like the same Christ that died and took your sin away, by now, we could have not have any sin. By now, our country, like my Congo, was going to be peaceful because the people that are killing, the people that are doing all those things, is the most people that got everything. Do you understand? So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
I think you asked a very good question. You said, why can't we come into one stadium? That's a very good question. So the reason why Christians cannot come into one stadium, number one, some of the preachers are very greedy. The reason why they have their own churches is so that they can loot money from the people and actually take a lot of money from them. And I thought about that as well. Like, why can't we just go to a stadium and just be one? Secondly, is because some of the beliefs are different. The Catholic Church, what they believe in, are some of the things I don't agree with them. I don't agree in purgatory. I don't agree in priests that the Bible says priests are not supposed to marry. That we have nannies. That so it's because of the difference in belief. That's why you see a lot of churches. I don't agree with that as well, but that's what's happening. And you've got greed people that want to that want to loot money from the innocent people, all this prosperity themselves. So
let's say for me to finish, let's say I have 5 million.
Yeah.
And I want to give you now to say my child is very sick. I want you to pray for me. I'll give you $5 million or whatever.
Yes.
Then tomorrow, after like 2 weeks, we come and see you. Are you going to be the same way you are talking about?
No, because
so thank you. You are all the same.
No. I want to answer you lastly. You see, when you are offering an offering to the pastor, genuinely coming from your heart, not him charging you. That's
coming from my heart. It's coming because I've told you I've got a sick child that I want you to pray for. So that's not coming from my heart. It's coming for a service. I want you to do a service for me. That's not coming from my heart. Something coming from my heart, it will be a take without anything attached to it. But I've told you already that I want you to pray for my child, which means the gift that I'm giving you, it's not a gift, it's a service. I'm giving you money so my daughter can be healed.
In exchange for a service.
In exchange for that, that's it.
No.
Yes.
The Bible never encourages you to get money and give to the pastors before they can pray for you. Because being a pastor is not a career, even though other preachers have made it a career. It's a calling. I preach the gospel. No one gives me $1 in my life. Zero. I work for myself. I work with my hands. I've got my own business. I don't depend on the people. The teachers that have made it a doctrine to charge people, they are wrong. But if you say that, okay, man of God, my child is sick, can you pray for me and my child so that they can be healed? Actually, you're not even supposed to give them money. When you want to give them, just appreciate and say, man of God, we appreciate the service that you are having. But they are not supposed to charge you, and you are not supposed to go with money before they can pray for your child. That is wrong. It's not supposed to be like that.
But it happens every day, and God doesn't do anything about it.
No, it happens every day. That's true. But those are false teachers.
Why can't God stop false teachers?
Oh, okay. So you see, he will be contradicting himself, because he said false teachers will come, and there will be wars as well. I want to answer that question. The reason why in Congo there are wars, and there are wars all over the world, and you ask and say, why did God stop it?
Mm-hmm. Why are there wars? Why are there wars?
Okay, because in the book of Matthew, he predicted that these things will happen. If they stop, and then it will actually prove his word wrong.
So you're saying that the war in Congo was predicted by God.
Who said there will be wars?
I'm just being kind with you, but honestly, don't even go in that area. Otherwise, you are not going to be happy. Please.
Let me ask you.
He said there will be wars. Congo is part of it's a civil war which is happening. God says there will be war.
Mr. Mark, let me tell you something.
God said there will be war. So now Congo is just doing what God said.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Mark.
You see the way you're putting it, it's actually.
How am I putting it? You said he predicted it. God said there's going to be war. Therefore now Congo is fighting because God said it.
You could have spoken about Ukraine, Russia. You could have spoken about Israel, Gaza. You could have because there will be wars.
Is Congo not part of it?
Yeah, Congo is part of it. But now because is it Samira or Samira? Because of course she's from Congo, so it resonates with her. So, and then when you're putting it like, oh, God said there will be wars, Congo is doing what God said will happen.
Well, is that not the truth? Is that not, wait? Did I lie?
No, the way you're putting
exactly. That's what
God said there will be wars. Congo is just a part of that prediction, which happened.
This is exactly, we're saying the same thing. We are saying the same thing.
You're right, but the way you're putting it,
it's the way that I put it. Okay.
Mr. Mark, are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Aside your religious beliefs, have you read philosophy? Have you read psychology? And have you looked at humanity as a unique being, like aside your religious beliefs? Can you do that?
Well, I can do that, but that would be atheism. That would be being.
No. You are getting something wrong. It's not atheism. Let me ask you this question. If you are sick now, for example,
yes,
maybe you are maybe one illness or the other, and go to the doctor, and I tell you that, okay, Mr. Mark, I will give you the money. I will take the expenses for the treatment. Any treatment you want, I'm going to give you. And somebody else said, Mr. Mark, come, I'll pray. Which one sounds more logical and preferable? Because both of them will yield the same result. You understand? Both of them will yield the same result. The aim is to get the healing either way. So does it mean that one way is superior than the other way?
No. So you see, let me. This is a very good question that you've answered. You see, when I get sick, I go to the hospital. I do both. Pray, go to the hospital. I take the paracetamol. There are Christians who say they don't take medication. That's what they believe. I'm not in there. If I'm getting sick, I'm going to the hospital, because being a Christian doesn't mean that you must disengage your brain.
Well, where's your faith, Mark? Where's your faith?
No, listen. The same Bible that you talk about, Jesus told a parable whereby a man had to take someone to the hospital. If he actually did not believe in people going to the hospital, he was not going to say that parable. But he said it because it's something which we Christians are to do. It's not like if you're a Christian, you disengage your brain when you're in an accident, just like Jehovah's Witnesses. They will not allow someone's blood to be given unto them. I personally, I don't know why they do that, but as for me, if I'm sick, I'm at the hospital. So, and also going to the hospital, they are Christian doctors, they are Muslim doctors, they are atheists who are doctors. So it cannot be attributed to humanist or secular or something like that.
Mr. Mark, let me still ask you this question. If your religion, according to what you said, because you spoke that, okay, you speak by faith, if maybe somebody is sick, the person can go to the hospital and the hospital can treat it, and you also claim that, and you know that even medical science and recent improvements, advancement in scientific processes can actually do it well and do it better. I think if you have phone, you can go to Instagram, check some of the sites, Total Define Brazil, and some other advanced site where they are much more interested in medical research. Now, if medical science can do that, what is the use of your religion? Does it really have any use, or you are just, it's just
Well, that's another good question, but you actually there's always a blind spot in your question. First of all, science doesn't heal every disease that is in the world. That's number one. There are people that were told that they wouldn't live 6 months ago. They went to the pastor and he prayed for them. They are more than 60 years right now. But at the hospital, they were told that, listen, you are left with 6 months. And I wouldn't even say that all those doctors are liars or what, because science doesn't answer everything. It can just tackle some of the things, but some of the diseases cannot be answered by science.
Which church? Where's the proof? Because the science, they will show us the papers.
So you realize when a hospital tells you, when a doctor tells you you have X months to live, that is just an educated guess based on history. That has nothing to do with it being accurate. It's not an accurate guess at all. They can guess that you're going to live for 6 months and you live for 6 years. They just look at the evidence that they have at that point. So it's not a prediction that's how long you will live.
Okay, so
you see, I'm not disagreeing with you when a doctor says, you see, you are left with 6 months, and I wouldn't even say that they're incompetent. It's because according to this is how science, according to their experiments and their assessment on your body, the conclusion which they found is that, listen, within the space of 6 months, of course, it's an educated guess, and then the person lives probably more than 60 more years and all that. But my own pastor was told that he will never make it to probably 12 years and all that. And then he went to church. They prayed for him. He is still alive even today.
Mr. Mark, can I say this on what you said? And I think I'm saying that because you made it.
Where does that prove that the reason he's alive? Someone prayed for someone one time. So where's the proof that the prayer is? Where's the proof that the prayer? Again, let me finish. Where's the proof that the prayer is the reason? In the medical world.
We can't hear you, Rich. Rich, we can't hear you. Rich, we cannot hear you. You're cutting in and out.
Looks like his network.
No, I think he's on the move.
No, I think this is what he said. He said, "Where's the proof that prayers healed my pastor?" You see.
Yeah, but what I said was basically, what's the proof that the prayer did it? What's the proof that the prayer did it? Outside the fact that there's no proof that the prayer did it, because like I said, there are many times where this happens and no one was prayed for. No one prayed to God. Doctors say, you know what, I think you may only live 6 months, and they end up living 10 years. I actually know someone that happened to. They never prayed. So how do you know that prayer did it?
Oh, so because of that incident, so you can conclude that the prayer never worked.
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's what we're
I didn't conclude that. I said, how do you know the prayer is what did it? That's the question.
Where?
Ratios. I've got a question.
You're keeping, or you keep on moving the goalpost. Every time I answer, you move.
That's the same question I ask consistently. How do you know the prayer did it? That's the original question. I gave you the examples of when people weren't prayed for.
Like,
and they
where is the evidence?
So where's the evidence that the prayer did it? Besides the fact that you said
okay, my own evidence that I will give you. I know you're not gonna like it, but there's a counter question. My evidence is that I can call my pastor now; he's still alive. Number two. Wait. My counter is. Would you say that the people that were not prayed for is the evidence that prayer does not work?
No, I can tell you this is that the Templeton organization in the U.S., which is a Christian organization that works hard to prove that God is real, did an entire study of over 50,000 people with prayer and found that prayer helped in no way, shape, or form. In fact, it's sort of the statistics said the outcomes were just a little bit worse with prayer. They did control groups and they did everything. I can tell you that evidence is there for that.
I'm trying to pronounce the name. I really can't pronounce the name. And I have a question.
You call me Rich. You just call me Rich.
Okay, Rich, I have a question. One question or two. I mean, the essence of my question is to really understand better, not to disprove anything. So you talk a lot about evidence. And must everything have evidence? I mean, physical evidence.
Yes.
If we get physical evidence, if we can get physical evidence, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why I ask? I mean, across the globe, there are two major legal systems that operate in different countries: the civil law system and the common law system. In the common law system, for you to say something has happened or you to affirm that this is what happened, you need evidence. In that case, in the court, cases are decided on preponderance of evidence. In civil law system, cases are decided on the inner conviction of the judge, no evidence. In other words, the judges must have looked at circumstances and situations and all that. They don't have to provide evidence, but they are convinced that this is what happened, and they can say, are convinced that this is what happened after listening to stories and all that. What I'm saying in essence is that, I mean, there are circumstances where hard evidence can be difficult to get. You rely on circumstantial evidence. For example, one of such cases is when you try to prove a case of, let's say, adultery, for example. When people want to commit adultery, they don't open their door and do it in the open. So you can't really have hard evidence. You may want to rely on circumstantial evidence that, okay, at a point in time, this happened and this happened. So I think if he believes that, I mean, at some point in time, he has prayed and is convinced that he's going to answer his prayers, So what I'm saying is that two facts can coexist and both may be right. So the fact that, I mean, going into philosophy now, the principle of identity or principle of no contradiction, that if something is A, it can be both A and B. That's why I have issue with philosophy, because the truth is that two facts can coexist and both may just be correct. So, I mean, it's belief. So,
Mr. Charles, can I ask you a question, Mr. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. Imagine I make a car and I make a vehicle.
Yeah.
And you ask me, am I sure this vehicle will work? And I tell you that I think it will work. I didn't do my calculation well, everything. Then you ask me, what is the factor of safety of this vehicle? Then I tell you, I don't know. Now, if you look at the system and you build a system on that basic, is it logical? Like, is it ideal?
Okay, to answer the question, I will just also try to use science, because, I mean, engineering has its foundation in science, and we also have behavioral sciences. right? For example, let's say sociology, psychology, or even criminology. For mechanical engineering, it's very precise. I call mechanical engineering precise engineering because everything is precise. It can be could measure and all that. But in social sciences as well, we have social sciences as well, which we believe they are all science. And for example, to also talk about to predict human behavior, you can't say with certainty, you can't say with hard evidence as well, and they are both sciences. So, in other words, for example, if I'm dealing with maybe organizational behavior, organizational theory, and I want to predict, how certain staff will react to development or something, I can only advise management and say, this is it. They may react this way and they may react the other way, right? But this is science. I have studied their behavior and this is behavioral science, but I cannot say with evidence 100% certainty because I'm not dealing with mechanical, I'm not dealing with machines, I'm dealing with human beings. You understand? So in this case, if you say for mechanical engineering, you have to be 100% accurate with your evidence, then it's correct. Then when I come to the another branch of science, which is human behavior and social sciences, if I say I don't have evidence that these individuals are going to react this way 100%, I'm also correct. So those are two factors. You understand? Those are two facts and they exist and they are both truth.
Mr. Charles, you didn't answer my question. Now you have brought something to my notice, and I think I should be more direct in the question. If you build a system, or you are building any system, or maybe you are trying to, let's say as a nation, you are trying to control a social class, and you build that social class based on assumption. Number one, if there is no certainty in any of the characters, there won't be no basis. And when there is no basis, there won't be no standard. Can you hear me?
Yep.
When I can hear you. When there is no basis, there won't be no standard. Standards cannot be created. And when there is no standard, there is no certainty. Social order we cannot achieve social order. Now, if you build a system on unpredictable behavior where everybody do what they like, as long as I feel that okay, this thing is okay, I don't have laws to regulate most of all these things, because like you said, we are dealing with human character. I don't have to predict all these things. Let's say maybe for example, I prayed and I cannot pick out a proof. Like even if you read your Bible, I think there was a time God said, okay, this is the sign. You understand? This is the sign that, okay, this is the covenant, the rainbow, you understand? Which means as long as they see the rainbow in heaven, they know that, yes, this is from, you understand, this is from God. Now, the question we are asking and is very direct. What is the point of certainty? Because you won't say when it comes to religion, because you are trying to, be here and be there. But this is the question we asked him, and I think he doesn't have answer to that question. Is, okay, what is your sign? Let's say, for example, God says, okay, I do this thing. Maybe when your leg shakes, for example, then know that, okay, it is me. And when that sign comes, how do you got that information that, okay, this is from God? You understand? That is the first question. Another question is that, and I said that, okay, if according to what you said we build this thing on assumption where you use the, laws as illustration, and we build a system like that where anybody can come and lay claim to any kind of thing, you understand, just to gain maybe social status or not. If you build a system like that, will that system be reliable or compatible? I think I've associated it more with human character within. Will it be, you understand, will it make any sense from the rational thought point of view?
I see always say, I also answer your question by saying, systems, when it comes to issue of, human beings, something that has life, it's always difficult to compare it with systems and machines as regards to sciences. You understand? And for me, I think the young man proved beyond reasonable doubt why he believed what he believes, that he prayed for people and he sees someone being prayed for something that looked impossible, and the prayer actually worked. So at that point, I think his reason for believing in what he believes is to a great extent justified. And I was also answering question on this platform from Afro the other day, and there is a gentleman that he believes in the African traditional system, and he believes in all those spiritual stuff and all that. So because he has seen all those things work, like he has seen the evidence may not be, that hard evidence that you can have on paper or physical and be showing people, It just like you stepping out of your house, for example, and I meet you in the morning and I say, see, when you get to your office today, this is what's going to happen. This is who you're going to see. This is what exactly somebody will come into your office, tell you this and all that. I say, how do you know? I say, oh, the gods of Africa reveal it to me. And if everything I have told you come to pass, you tend to want to believe in the gods, the African traditional system that I believe in or something. So people have some form of evidence that, it gives them the conviction, it's not something that they can show physically and say, this is the evidence and all that. So that's why I just come to the conclusion that in the end, once somebody has reason, enough conviction to believe in what he believes, I mean, it's okay, it's fine. So in that case, I mean, two beliefs can just coexist and none is wrong. For example, believing that there is no God is also a belief. Believing that there was no Jesus, there is no Jesus is also a belief. So it's also fine because someone had that conviction that, hey, this thing doesn't exist because the person has seen enough evidence, enough reason not to believe. So, I mean, that's just where I see it. I just believe, both facts can coexist. And each person believing in what they have conviction, and reason to believe.
I understand what you said, but from everything you said, I think I've come to the conclusion that you are a neutral person, you are agnostic, and I'm agnostic too. But
I'm not actually neutral. Okay. Afro used to ask this question, but she didn't ask today. She used to ask, "Are you a Christian or Muslim?" So she didn't ask today, or maybe he's already used to me
from my
coming
own,
here
from my
all
own
the time.
point of view, you are agnostic. You are a neutral person. You are here and you are there. You don't want to. I don't know why you are doing.
Charles, I've spoken to you because I already know.
Yeah, he already knows that I'm a Christian. So
Okay, you are a Christian according to what.
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think you are. You are agnostic. Maybe you have not found out yet.
So the reason for me holding on to my faith, I think she will remember as well. But one day she asked me that question several times. I said, okay, let us assume that there is no God. Let us assume that the whole, Jesus thing, Bible, Christian was a scam. So, and I told her that day that I have looked at the way I practice my Christianity, and I say, even if I practice the Christianity and the end I find out that it was a scam, I have nothing to lose. And that is the basis of, it's difficult to convince me otherwise on that ground. That
No, not at all, sir. I'm not trying to convince you, but we are trying to, look into some of the beliefs, look into some of the practice. And
yeah.
our conclusion is it just a tool for social or geopolitical benefits, or a tool of social orderliness, or a tool of, morality? You understand? I think that's our question. And so far, like I said, you are agnostic. So me, I know the reason why I say you are agnostic, because I could bring some topics, you understand, and I can question your core beliefs, you understand. And I don't think you give me a very, reasonable answer. I don't know if I'm trying to, watch my word. I don't think you give me a very reasonable answer to most of those questions. And if you do not, identify with those core questions, if you don't accept it according to you understand, your religion, you are not to identify as them. That's the point I'm trying.
That's true. I agree with you.
Yeah, if you bring up the question, I would try. My own little knowledge as much as I could, and try to provide answers to those questions, and but I just listened to Mark, the young one, and I feel it appears he has reason to, to believe what he believes or something. There are some things he also said that I also disagree with. For example, like talking so much about pastor praying for somebody. That's to a great extent. I also disagree with that, because my own idea of Christianity is not for somebody praying for me. It's me establishing a relationship with God and telling God what I want. And let me tell you something about these things that even in the law of attraction, even if you keep saying something, those things are likely to come to you. If you understand my point.
Mr. Charles,
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, you
Yeah.
made a statement now that you believe in establishing your own religion on your own. Now, according to your book and according to some of the doctrines of your, fellow people, they
Yeah.
say do not abandon the gathering of the brethren, which means they have this, lines of teaching, these tenets. You understand? And if you deviate from this tenet, you cannot identify as them. You understand? And one of those tenets is one of these things you said is against. You understand those tenets? You understand?
They are probably not understanding it, So it just depends on when you're understanding it. So if you say I should not forsake the gathering of children of God, and I already said that once 2 or 3 are gathered in His name and in being their midst and all that. I mean, so if you are my brother and you are my sister, and I have a sister and all that, we are already children of God. So when we come together and pray and worship, He said it's in our midst, and and he also taught us how to pray. He said when we want to pray, we should enter our house and lock our door, and he taught us how to pray. So if you believe by what the Bible is saying is for you to go and associate with thousands and millions of people outside and shout and make noise and all that, well, maybe that's what you believe. Even in the science text that we read, some people read fixes and they don't understand. Some people, they read chemistry textbooks and they still don't understand. So I think the
And
book is not
Charles,
there for everybody to read and understand. Yeah.
and Charles, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. With all these things you've said, do you go to church first of all? Do you attend any church?
Yeah, I go when I can, but I
Okay.
don't
Have
put
you ever
my
had any conversation with some of your church member, just like the way you've had it now here with us, and they hear you talk,
yeah, absolutely. I have conversation with church member that
and then
like
they're like,
minds.
oh, amen, whatever you're saying, they agree with you.
Not necessarily I agree. I mean, we talk, and so to be honest, recently one of my old church member called me
Or
and said,
recently, like in 2025, right?
"Yeah, this year," I said,
Okay. No,
that
but
child.
before
No, I
that,
just want
can
to
you
give you an
hold any
example.
conversation like
Yeah, we
this?
used like there's a question that I used to ask a church member long ago, like 10, 15 years ago, and recently he called me to ask if I have the answers to the question, because I was like, what happened if someone, I mean, is it good to lie according to, as a Christian and all that? What happened, if you lie and you are threatening or something, you now ask me, I just said, yeah, I have answer now. So what was the answer? I said, because God says He will have mercy on who we have mercy on, and compassion on whom we have compassion on. So I mean, that's up to short members, and depending on the topic we decide to talk about, and you know, it's
Mr. Charles, do you agree with
yeah.
me that your religion has been used more as it has been weaponized these days and it doesn't reflect anything? There's no need for it. You understand? I'm saying it respectfully. I have my proofs. It has been weaponized. It has been used for a lot of. It has done more harm than good to our
I
society
believe,
today.
yes,
Than
definitely, people have taken advantage of the religion to enslave people, to impoverish people. I mean, I call them the charlatans on the pulpit. To commit all sorts of despicable stuff that even Jesus Christ, when He comes, will be very surprised. But again, I mean, in the last day, He said there will be fake prophets and all that. So it is quite unfortunate that what you are saying is the truth. So it has just been so bastardized.
Mr. Charles, if I go out and say this thing, you people will tend to tag me as hypocrisy and seem like maybe I'm oppressing you. I'm not saying any resource of truth in my word. But I think there is one statement you made, and I think I totally disagree with you. We are not in the last days. and the earth is a continuous infinite cycle. I'm saying it based on
Yeah.
mathematics.
So
I think
I'm not saying we are in the last days. So the point I really try to emphasize there is that even the Holy Book has predicted that there will be false prophets. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if I
who wrote the Holy Book? No, now. I just want to know. Who wrote it? How did he predict? How did he know, or she knew, to say we could reach this place where we are now?
So the question you asked me, do you know why I love? I love because I'm also asking the same question, and I was like, I'm also asking the same question. I was talking to the church member some days back, and I said, see, the idea of heaven and all that is just a revelation by someone that said this is what he saw and all that. There was no verification. I believe in identification and verification. In other words, if you are saying something that you have another source that verifies it,
and
so
what about, okay, you say you
the
asked
question you are asking, I've asked that question, and I'm asking a whole lot of questions.
Okay, what about if me, I say that the person that wrote the Bible is the same person that predicted, because he or she knew that by this time, 2025, a lot of people will be awakened. People will choose whatever they want to do according to their own personal preference. So that's how he had to come up and say this will be the end of the world, the end of the time.
Well, it's possible. It's quite possible. You understand? So anything I've questioned, I don't have answer yet. If you tell me this is what you think is the right answer, I will not dismiss it. Trust me, I will not dismiss it. But the only thing that the way I see all these things is why I'm looking for answer. If I do what I'm directed to do and I'm not losing anything, so it's a venture that I have nothing to lose and all that. So that's just the way I've come to realize that, okay, what does Bible actually teach me? It teaches me not to steal, not to lie, not to kill, to love my neighbors and all that, So why should I do all those things? Actually, why should I do that?
Mr. Charles, let me tell you something. Psychologically, you did not decide not to do that because of the Bible said so. You decided not to do that because from rational thinking perspective, if you do that, the law of the land will pin you down.
Exactly. So the Bible is actually teaching me what is lawful.
Religion, please. I just want us to be truthful to ourselves. It has nothing to do with religion. If you look at the Bible, I think.
Do you know that it's possible some way there are other religions that actually encourage them to kill for certain reasons? Do you know? And people obey it. They don't care whether they get punished by the law.
Politics.
No, it's politics. I don't think there's all the religion that everyone uses now. They are all from this. What's this? The Book of the Dead and all those things.
Abdul Muttalib planted a bomb in a U.S. Airplane, and when he was arrested, he was in court. He was happy to die as long as he killed the people. He was happy to die as long as he succeeded in.
Listen, it's the same thing.
Because
it's the same thing like Christians do. Example: if they find an old woman, she's got maybe dementia or dementia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very well because I speak French, so I've seen it with my own eyes. They found a woman, she's coming, she missed her house and went to the neighbor's house because in her sickness, she doesn't know her difference. Then they take her and start beating her until the poor woman died.
Where is it in the Bible?
No. In the Bible, even when I don't know.
No, where is it that when they see somebody that missed the house, they should be? Because you say Christians do it, so we must
Christian, I give an example, a normal example of what I've seen with my own eyes. Christians, listen. Finish first.
Tomorrow,
can you allow me to
finish? Did I beat the person because I'm a Christian?
No. Can I tell you my story so you can get what I'm trying to say? Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. So what I'm saying is this. I've seen an old woman back home. She comes out of her house around maybe 3 or 4. She misses her place. She goes to the neighbor's house and then open the door, go in and want to sleep. And when they wake up, they say, who is this woman? She's not from here. And then they started kicking her out. Until they reached outside, they started beating her. The neighbors came and everyone joined in and did what? They beat that old woman until she died. Oh, in the name of she was a witch. But who saw her when she was witching? Oh, she fell. She came, I don't know whether she was flying, and then she fell down. That's how now they've
ask your question.
Let me finish. They've decided that she's a witch, and therefore they're going to kill her and beat her. Is it not the same thing like that one you've just mentioned?
Okay. So did they beat her? Did they beat her because they were Christians, or just some primitive behavior because they didn't know?
Mr. Charles, we are not talking about just Christians, please. You are taking it personal. We are talking about the concept of religion entirely and what it teaches. And one of the things they are talking about.
But the Bible says to suffer not a witch to live.
Yes, something like
The Bible says that.
So our question is that
she has not answered the question. I wanted to. I want to know that did they? I mean, I don't know. The Bible does not tell us how to identify a
because they
witch.
say she's a witch. Because they are Christians, and then they believe that she was witching. She came to witch them in the house.
So they are extremists. So they are extremists.
No, they are not extremists. Please.
There is no place in the Bible where you are allowed to kill somebody, because the Bible says thou shalt not kill. And it says
suffer not a witch to live.
The weapon of our warfare is not carnal.
Peace for the wicked.
So they are extremists. They are not Christians. Because
Mr. Charles, you made a statement and I disagreed with you. You said there is no place in the Bible that supports killing. There is a lot, even in the commandments. I think there was one place in the Bible, I think it's Exodus or Deuteronomy 1:10, where a child, an Egyptian child back then said something about the God of Israel to a Jewish child, and they said they killed the child because the child blasphemed. You understand? So all those things are all promoting keep on allowing. What you said, I think, is wrong. I'm disagreeing with you because a lot of places in your book, encourage that. And
okay. Look at the prophet. The prophet that had those young boys. They were talking about his bald head, and he prayed to God.
Yes.
And God sent how many? 2 bears and killed 42 of them.
So what God decides to do or not to do, I mean, is beyond what I can talk about, because it's omniscience, it's omnipotent, and all that. He can do all things, right? But I mean, the Holy Book told us not to ask us not to kill, not to lie, and all that. So it's wrong for anybody to kill.
But if God do that, which means God violated his own, his own principle, and if he himself violates his own principle,
he is a just God.
No, he's not.
He is a just God.
He's an unjust God.
No, don't say that. But from that story host gave about where somebody insulted prophet, and two bears came out and mauled the children. Where is the justice in that act?
So that's what I'm saying. So the fact that God says thou shalt not kill, it means some people are killing. That's why there is a law in the first place. So people kill, and God has said thou shalt not do it. So the fact when there is law against something, it means there is possibility that it happens, and it's happening. That's why there is law against it. So I'm not saying.
Is it not in the Bible where, I don't know, because since 2014, me, this Bible matter and not the entire. Anyway, I wanted to ask, is it not, they were like 2 brothers. One bring, I don't know, vegetable, the other one bring meat. God get upset. He say, you should have brought me whether a goat or waiting. And then the other one, they started quarreling among themselves because God prefer one and not the other one. I don't know. There's a story like that.
Are you talking of Cain and Abel?
Yes.
Now you know. Okay.
It's Cain and Abel, yes.
Yeah, so God did not ask. God asked him to kill. So he committed an offense. He sinned against God by killing. So God says, "Thou shalt not kill."
Mr. Charles, can I tell you something? And this is what I think.
God had never said, "Thou shalt not kill."
God has never
that
said
time. It was, isn't it when Moses came that God now said, "Thou shalt not kill" in one of the laws?
Yes.
But before then, God had not said, "Thou shalt not kill."
And even till Moses, before Moses lived, people were still killing. Even there was a time God advised, so go to this village, wipe everybody. You understand? Which means God himself advocate for it. Even slave trade, God advocate, encourage you to own slaves.
So if we go back to the evidence, so whatever everyone believes, person should always ask for evidence. Like, so for example, as a Christian, a lot of people pray. When I pray to God, I ask for evidence. I say, God, give me the evidence of faith, this evidence of my faith in you. You understand? So when God gives me evidence, sometimes I know this is my evidence, but if I give you my evidence, you want hard evidence that is scientific. Do you understand? It's like someone that has stage 4 cancer, and they say, "Hey, this person is going to die," and he go on his knee and he say, "God, I command this cancer to die." I say, "God, you need to give me the evidence, And when he gets healed, so he knows what he has talked to God about.
Did he get healed while he's sitting at home, or he went to the hospital?
I see someone that has stage 4 cancer, and the
No, I'm asking now. It's a question. It's a question. Did they get healed while they are sitting at home? Continue praying, God.
Yes,
they are at home. They don't go anywhere. No hospital, no medication, no nothing.
Yeah.
And where's the proof? Where's the document to prove to say
exactly?
This person has cancer?
I agree
number
with you.
4, number 1,
I
number
agree with
2.
you on this. That's why I said. So if that person has his or her evidence, if he talks to you about it, you want a hard evidence. And this person has evidence like, I believe in this. That's why.
Okay. Do you know what I'll tell you for that?
I'm only giving credence to what
it's not a miracle, because even people that don't even believe in all those things, they can still happen. So I don't see that as a miracle.
So this is it. And this is another fact now. So something can be a miracle to Mr. A, or it may not be a miracle to Mr. B. So it's actually a miracle. I will tell you something. I'll tell you, depending on the place the part of the world you live, sometimes basic security that no, Amraba did not shoot me. I mean, I went to this place and came back. I was on hot and all that. To some people is miracle, but to some people is just basic government responsibility. Do you understand? So in another crime, something is a miracle. In another crime, it's just a basic government responsibility. So that's why I'm saying two facts can exist together and they are both correct, And so it could be a miracle to this person that knows the covenant and the agreement he has with God, what he has told God, and say, God, this is what I want. And let me even tell you, I've read so much books about law of attraction, like that, the secret of attraction and all that. See, when you remove God from the equation, when you keep telling yourself something, I'm going to do this is possible, I will do it, it keeps coming.
This is why I'm telling you to say,
you attract what
you are not a
and you believe in.
When you come to this side, I will say you're not a Christian.
None of this is in the Bible. Why are you talking about laws of attraction?
No,
why are you taking? Let me finish my question. Why are you taking these secular philosophical ideas and cramming them into Christianity? Christianity doesn't speak of any of this stuff. So why would you do that?
No, do you know what I'm talking about?
Thank you.
Do you know why I'm talking about that? Because God created everything. He created the science, even everything, even the knowledge and all that. I mean, everything was actually created by God.
So basically, you're just going to claim everything, and anything that you say, you're going to presuppose God. That's what you're going to do.
Do you know?
That's what you're going to do. Well, God did it.
Mr. Rich, Mr. Charles is agnostic. Is not a Christian. Is agnostic. I've said it before. Is agnostic from his word. And Mr. Charles, can you hear me? I want to say something.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me tell you my conspiracy and what I think. I don't think logically that God exists, and even if he does, I don't think he's all good. Neither is he all powerful. He's either is just all powerful or just all good.
Okay.
And when I look at it from that, you understand, line of thought, I think God is just one big, instrument of disorderliness, which we can see in the world today, a religious war in the Middle East and even in some places in Africa, and, a strategy for cashing out, especially in my father's land. So that's just, what I think.
Okay. So is it that you think there is no God or you believe there is no God?
You said
you think there is no God or you believe there is no God?
Realistically, I don't think I know there is none.
I don't believe there's a God. That's what he's saying, basically.
So you not believing there is a God. So you not believing there is a God. It means you already believe in something, which means you believe the fact that God does not exist.
Who says he believes in something? Who says he believes in something?
You believe in a fact that God does not exist.
I didn't say that God is a fact. I said I don't believe there's a God. I didn't say that I know that God. I didn't say I know there's no God.
Okay.
What's the meaning even of the same
believe.
Believe.
Okay.
What's the meaning of belief self?
So back to where we started. For me, for someone that believe there is God and they say their evidence is about healing and what they've personally experienced. So I think it's only fair for them to continue to believe if that's what they hold on to. Like for me, that's not what I hold on to. What I hold on to, if I don't heal as instructed in the Bible, if I don't steal, if I love my neighbor, if I give to the poor, I feed the hungry, give water to the thirsty and all that, if at the end of the day I realize it's a scam, I mean, those things I have done because Bible says I should do it, they're actually lawful, they are good acts and all that. So basically, I still have nothing to lose. And if I find out that, it's real, so I gain. So for me, it's actually a venture that I have nothing to lose.
Basically, what you are doing is just like they say in French, tanarans. You are just standing there in the middle, but you put one leg there, one leg this side. Even your so-called Bible self does not allow you to do that.
Yes, that's agnosticism, and that's what he's doing. And I've said it before that he's agnostic. And it's a good thing to be agnostic, you understand? He's living his life based on trial and error, like, okay, if it works out, no problem. If it doesn't work out, no problem.
No. That's not the fact. So I think the fact is that you already have idea of how Christians should behave. They should be so should not question anything. So when you see a question that also questions certain thing that is looking for answer, you believe he's neither there or there. I've told you, see, my faith remains unshaken in the fact that, see, there is God Almighty. I pray for evidence. I have the evidence, right? But
it's shaken because you are reading the book, The Secret, all those books. So it's shaken.
Yeah.
Your faith is already shaken.
So I only take you. Sometimes you take if I meet a lawyer and we have conversation, I go into law to discuss, to make the conversation so that the conversation can make sense, so that we can all both talk about law. If I meet someone who is a psychologist, I I take the conversation to psychology, so we can actually, talk about, psychology, because I have read a little bit of, all this stuff, and I've read law significantly, psychology significantly, sociology, investigations. I basically specialize in financial crimes and all that. So depending on who I'm talking to, I could, go to the level that, okay, we can both understand ourselves. So if you say, everything is just natural, is science and all that. So I can take you to, law of attraction and say, okay, if you say things and say, this is what I want, it keeps coming to you. Right? But can you prove that scientifically? No. Do you understand?
Mr. Charles, Mr. Charles, you are trying to, mix everything up. It's very, very clear. If, for example, as I am here and I want 1 million, you understand, and I put in hard work to get that 1 million, it doesn't mean law of attraction, that applies to it. Lie. I'm just being direct. Now, why do I say that? Because if I put my mind to work it and I do my calculation very well, okay, I need 1 million. Let's say I own a laundry shop, and in a week I make, let's say, 100,000 or 200,000. Maybe in the next 5 weeks I have that 1 million. I made, you understand? I believe, to me, we are the author of our fate. We are the one that, are the pilots of our own personal life, and it has nothing to do with maybe whatever.
Then again, we have to put God first, because whatever we ask in His name of Jesus Christ, He says He's going to do it. And again, always to understand that there is actually, power in the blood of Jesus. He has given us the power to say some certain things, and it will come to pass. If you go to read the Bible and see how God took the prophet to the wilderness, and he saw bones, all dry bones scatter, and God asked him, what can this bone become? And he said, God, thou know it. Like, I'm just human, I don't know. God, you know it. And God says, speak to the bones. You understand? So sometimes these things are just parable. So what that means, what that verse of the Bible is telling us is that, see, you are faced with situations. It could be your business, it could be your health and all that. You don't even know what is going to happen the next time. So what God is telling you that, see, speak the word of God to it. Speak unto it. Oh ye, I command you cancer in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I command you to die. I speak prosperity to my business. So
what you're talking about things that are not true. This is what bothers me.
Reese, believe me, I'm saying
let me finish what bothers me. Let me. Yes, I will tell you, it is not true. You can speak all you want. You are not going to speak God into Cant.
Reese, I promise you, if you try this, I promise you get the evidence that you want.
Would you finish what I'm saying? The Lord does not answer everything because you ask in His name. We know that to be not true. Also, He does not heal cancers because you preach into them. There's no law of attraction that doesn't exist. That is just a wellness psychobabble bullshit. There is no law of attraction.
Okay,
it doesn't exist. That has been. Wait. Let me. Can I finish what I'm fucking saying? Do I have to say it like that for you to let me finish what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
There is no law of attraction. It does not exist. It doesn't exist. And you're talking all this crap, this wellness crap. Meanwhile, people are unaliving because they're going home because some goddamn minister said that I pray for you and your cancer is going to heal. And it doesn't heal. And I'm sick of Christians sitting up here pushing this shit, costing people their lives. You should be ashamed of yourself because you know it costs people their lives. You know it. You can laugh what the fuck you want, but it costs.
No, that's not funny, because I You know why I laugh? I actually laugh because, I mean, why would someone be a Christian and rely on what a pastor somebody somewhere has said and say, I pray for you?
Then in the Bible, God, anything you ask in me in my name, I will give you. Yeah. Guess what? And it doesn't happen.
Exactly. So he didn't say anything you ask me through the pastor. So at least, you know what I want to do? I want to actually, put this into practice. When you see a difficult situation, I want us to both look for the evidence together, and I can assure you, you will see the evidence of faith.
Will not see the evidence because there is no evidence. There's no evidence of a God. There's no evidence of prayer ever healing anyone from cancer. There's no prayer of there's no evidence of, how many children, another thing that bothers me is that
Christ raised someone from dead after 4 days.
I don't care. He didn't. It's a lie.
Mr. Charles, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you gone to, a mortuary before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you went there, maybe even as long as you are going there, no problem. Have you seen what it means for somebody to be declared that, okay, this person is dead?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Completely unalive, yeah?
Unalive. And if you have seen that, can you point and try to, think or try to what it means for somebody to come into the world and claim that, okay, people that are unalive are, coming back to life. Hope you understand what I mean. Have you thought about it before? And when you thought about it from a rational point of view, is there possibility? Does it make any logical sense to you?
Absolutely, it does. Do you know why?
I'm listening.
He who makes can repair. I took my Toyota car back to Toyota on the 3rd of this month for if Toyota, once you drive to a particular mileage, there's some servicing they recommend you go to Toyota and do that servicing. So one of my car goes to 60,000 mileage, and so I was asked to take it back to Toyota for a kind of servicing. So when I was going to pick my car, trust me, I couldn't recognize my car again. Like, everything came like the way I bought it when it was new. Do you know why? Because Toyota created it. They could even bring it back from dead. So God created somebody.
You are wrong.
Continue to bring the person back to life.
Mr. Charles, you are wrong. Now, why do I say you are wrong? Is because I sit down and I thought about this thing, and I don't think it makes any logical sense. It is not as easy as it seems, and it is not possible. It is not possible because
naturally it's not possible.
It's not possible naturally.
Naturally, it is.
It is not possible. It can never be possible. It has never been possible. It will never be possible. I've not seen it. I heard news, people like you say, okay, them say they have, seen it. It's possible. It can never be possible. It will never be possible. I don't know how you want to, make it to
supernaturally.
You understand? It's not possible. It has never been possible.
Can I ask one more? Can I ask one more question?
Okay, I'll leave.
Yeah.
Christians, right? Christian, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? What does it say about how many times are you appointed to unalive?
Once.
So how can someone, either the Bible is lying, wait, let me finish what I'm saying. Either the Bible is lying or you're lying. No one has been raised from the dead just by God's words. God says everyone is appointed to unalive one time. You're not going to you're not be raised from the dead, from unalivement, because you're only appointed. even on God's own words, it doesn't happen. So either God lied, or the story lied. Which one? What's where's the lie at? Where's the lie at? Where's the lie?
So, unto a man it is appointed for him to die once, and after death is judgment, right? So that's the word of God, right? And
it's not about judgment. It's about you unalive one time.
Yeah.
The human body, you unalive one time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's the general rule, right?
How do you raise someone from unalivement? How do you raise someone from unalivement?
Oh,
it doesn't happen.
This is how it happened.
Even by either the person was not unalive or the Bible's lying. You choose which one.
So this is how it happened. So the fact that it's appointed for a man to die once is the word of God, and he who spoke the word, do you understand? Then actually raise someone from the dead. So he who can unmake, right? If you make something, you can amend it. So if you make something, you can amend it, right?
There's no amendment in the Bible that says you're appointed to unalive unless God decides not to break the rule. It doesn't say that anyway. There's no amendment.
Rich, can we try something?
Charles, before you try something, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before you go any further, you go back to continue whatever you want to continue. So I want to ask you a question. God, the one that created us, right?
Yeah.
He created the devil. I don't know whether a snake or
he created everything.
Even the devil, right? Or Satan or Lucifer.
Everything on this planet, God created it.
Okay. Good. So he created him. Then he made sin against God, right? Then God took him where? Where did God put Satan?
It was sent away from the God side. I mean, there are more powerful angels like Angel Michael and all that.
Okay.
That chased him out of the sight of God.
Just there. So then is what? When you die, according to the Bible, what is?
I don't understand that question.
No, death. You've answered me. The devil, they send him. Abi, you've answered me that question. So what I'm asking now is, according to the Bible, death came upon us. Why?
Sin.
Okay. Why God is not killing Satan?
Okay. So.
No. Yeah. Just fast, please. I just want to know that's it. Because he created all of us. Yeah.
Satan was an angel. Satan was an angel.
Yeah.
Right?
No, we've established all that. We've established, and then we've established to say the death is part of the punishment of a sin.
So death came now. Sin is ordinarily, if not for sin, maybe we will live forever.
No problem. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just answer me. Now, that was the main punishment. Lucifer, snake, whatever. Why? Why is he not killing him? So that we finish, we continue the way it was to continue in the first place.
God does not kill anybody because of sin. Right?
No, you're not being real. You're not being real.
If God killed because of sin,
no. You are not talking from emotions. You are not speaking according to what the Bible, according to what you want me to say. No, come on, just real, like seriously. That's the punishment we get. But why is he not killing?
Punishment punishment in the sense that the reason why there is death is because of sin, not because.
So you want to tell me Satan did not sin?
Yeah. So It's not that
No,
when
no, no. Yes
you
or
die.
no? First, just to straight. Don't go around the corner, please, my brother.
I have told you. I said.
Straight. So Satan did not sin. Yes or no? Did this?
Of course he did. Of
Thank
course
you.
he did.
So the punishment of the sinner is death. So why not kill him and continue with everything?
Yes, the death will come, maybe.
No. And then on top of that, he's a sinner. Then he'll be the boss in hell.
So
He's the
if
boss
you
in
are-
hell, Satan. He's the boss,
Yeah,
he's the leader.
because he will rule. Because he will rule in hell. Because
So
he established.
if you look at
everything
it
that-
nicely, God and the Satan,
He was
they are
an
working in
archangel.
partnership.
He was an archangel, so he was powerful.
No. Yeah, so he's still
Archangels
an
are
angel because he's still working for God. He's still working for him, technically.
He was.
Not he was.
angel.
He's still
an
working
angel.
for him because that's why God has given him that land, so-called hell. Then,
Hell is a land.
where is it? He has given him that land, so-called hell, so that
How many hectares of land?
now you go know that one. Me, I don't know. Me, I don't say it's a big place.
Let me elaborate with what you are trying to ask, Mr. Charles. Look, the question what Simmer is asking you. You said Adam sinned against God, and Adam, the result of the what Adam sinned against God was death.
Was Adam killed? Was Adam killed by God?
When Adam sinned against God, when he ate the fruit, you said
Was he killed?
No, now you said he sinned. Now he sinned against God, and at the end he died. You understand?
At the end, that means he lived his time and passed.
On. You understand? Then after you then said Satan also, you understand, sinned against God, and
maybe his time and pass. Maybe I don't know.
And pass, but you now said that Satan will be the boss of hell, which means his time will never come.
The revelation I've told you that you will not ask me everything 100% in the Bible and expect to provide answers, because I personally, as a Christian, I still ask questions about some certain and I've told you that one of them is revelation. It's just someone that is saying it, that this is what he saw, heaven and earth and all that. And to be honest, I'm an investigator. As an investigator, I believe in.
Let me tell you something. Please be careful of the great deception and the big hoax. I think what you are saying is a hoax. I think from what you are saying, you are not adding up. Sorry to say that respectfully. You understand? Because now we have analyzed it, and I don't think it has solved.
Some of these things are supernatural, so you can't analyze supernatural.
How do you know that supernatural exists? How do you know that supernatural exists? How do you know?
You just mentioned it. So you just mentioned something, that means it exists. You just say supernatural, that means supernatural exists.
Then how do you know it's supernatural? How do you know it exists?
For you to have mentioned it, to be existing in the amount now, like we are saying it, you just say it. So many it exists.
Which means you define things based on what you say. If you define things based on what you say,
you say supernatural.
God, is that what you are trying to say? God exists because I say God by word, not just empty vain English. God exists because I say God according to what you are saying.
So supernatural exists.
So God exists because
you want me to prove it?
Mr. Charles, what are you trying to say? You say God exists because I say God exists, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
In case of the existence of God, God exists because I know, I've seen the evidence, I've found the evidence, and personally, He has given me the evidence of His existence.
Give the evidence of why He's not killing Satan.
So God does not give me evidence of another person's faith. He gives me the evidence of my own faith.
But why do
you understand? And God will not give me evidence of why He will not kill Satan. Because how does that help me to
God gave you the evidence why he will judge other people, why he will kill other people, send people to hellfire, but he didn't tell you the for Satan.
Well, God did not tell me he will send anybody to hellfire.
That's what every day. Miss Timmy, defend me on this. Am I?
I asked me that God tell me, or it's written in the Bible. So
you know what? This guy, I don't even.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Maybe you should select your words very well. So when I say God has given me the evidence of his existence, I'm talking of my personal relationship with him. So I have to differentiate between what I have seen from God.
Okay. So he has given you. You know that point. You are going to catch us nicely because it will be a personal thing. It is not written. You understand?
Yeah. So I have
My people,
it's for you to
my people, St. Charles, you keep going and asking.
Thank you.
I need to go. It's past 2 o'clock. It's past 2, guys. Thank you so much. You guys, the guy is an expert at dodging. Hey,
exactly. He knows even.
It's like a slithering snake going in. Just when you think you have caught him, he's already somewhere else.
So we can all look for this evidence together.
No, look for it for yourself. Don't include that in your evidence.
Look
for yourself by yourself, and talk to God. Tell God you should kill Satan. Bye-bye. Good night,
guys. Good night.
Have a good sleep.